Hi, I'm Rick Naqvi with PreSonus Audio, and I'm here at Sweetwater showing the brand new Series 3 StudioLive 32. The Series 3 is, of course, our third generation of StudioLive mixers, and it's based on a completely new platform of DSP processing. We have all new effects, and of course, touch-sensitive moving faders and recallable mic preamps. But one of the things that makes StudioLive so special is the workflow. And StudioLive has always been the easiest digital console to operate, so we wanted to keep that with the new Series 3 while adding some new functionality. So let's take a look at the layout. The first thing that you'll notice with the new mixer is the fact that we actually have 33 faders for a 32-channel console. So you have, of course, one fader per channel plus your master fader. And of course, if you prefer to mix with the one-to-one channel workflow, you can do that just by having this input button selected. Now, the next thing that's kind of nice is that we have new workflows. On the last 8 channels, you can configure these to be your aux inputs, your DCA groups, and also your mix and effects masters. So just with one button press, I can switch to my DCAs. And the cool thing about that is I have my channels 1 through 24 on the left-hand side. I've got my DCAs on the right. If I want to dig into the DCAs, if I press the select button on any DCA, for example, right now I want to look at my drums, I press the select button, and now the drums spill out to the left, and now you can see I've got control over all my drums, and I can change the level between the drums, and when I hit select again, now we're back to mixing with DCAs and channels 1 through 24. Now, on the left side, if I want to get access to my other channels here, I have bank buttons right here that'll show me my channels 25 through 32, plus I also have my effects sends and my aux inputs available. So if you prefer to work with DCAs and having your board on layers, of course, we have that workflow here, but at any time if you need to get access back to the top layer with just channels 1 through 32, we have this inputs button. And you can think of this as like your go home button. As soon as I hit inputs, no matter where I am, it shows you all 32 channels right on the top. A new feature that we have on the Series 3 mixers is the brand new Fat channel. So basically the Fat channel, this section here, gives you all of your EQ and dynamics processing for any selected channel. So all I have to do is select a channel, and now I've got all of my input parameters, which include mic pre-gain, you've got high pass filter, panning, threshold for your compressor, limiter, gate, all on here. Then if I hit the gate button, I've got all my gate parameters, compressor, give you all of your compressor parameters, EQ, gives you all of your EQ parameters. You also have access to your aux sends, so if you hit the aux sends button right here, now these encoders become sends of that channel to all of the auxes. The last button that you have here is the user button, and this allows you to completely user define what you want your Fat channel to be. So that way, anytime you select a channel, whatever parameters you want to have right on the top are there with no paging. The new StudioLive Series 3 consoles also feature multiple compressor and EQ models, and these are actually state space modeled circuit emulations of vintage compressors and EQs. You can switch from the fully parametric StudioLive standard EQ to a vintage British or a tube Pultec style. And the best part is that these vintage emulations are not just for 4 inputs or 8 inputs. They're available on all 32 inputs, and you can have your choice at any kind of style that you want. Another new feature is the fact that we have a completely user-definable layer for the faders, just like we did for the Fat channel. So I can basically hit this user button, and now I can have any fader be any input channel. But in addition to just being able to rearrange input channels where I want them, I can also assign any output. So an aux send or an effects send could be programmed to a fader in any order. So you can fully customize what you want to see. But again, remember, if you ever want to go back to just mixing channels 1 through 32 in order, hit one button, the inputs button, and you're back home. With the new StudioLive Series 3 console, we give you even more ways to capture and record your show. First of all, you have a multitrack USB output for Mac or PC. Then you also have an Ethernet AVB output that allows you to record all of the streams. And thirdly, we've got an SD card reader and writer right here. So you can just plug in an SD card, hit record. you're not just recording a stereo stream, you're recording all 32 channels multitrack to an SD card. Now the cool thing about that is not only are you recording full broadcast WAV files to the SD card, but you're also recording a snapshot of your console's memory. So if you're using Studio One, you can open up the included capture file, and it'll not only take the broadcast WAV files, but it'll give you a complete recall of your mixer settings, including a new Fat Channel native plugin. The new StudioLive 32 has more outputs than any other digital mixer in its class. First of all, you have 16 flex mixes. We call them flex mixes because they can be set up as auxes, subgroups, or matrix outputs. Now, in addition to these 16, you also have 4 dedicated subgroup outputs. So right there, that's 20 physical outputs right on the back of the console, plus your master left and right stereo and a mono output. Also included with the new StudioLive 32 are what you would come to expect from PreSonus. We have a lot of great ways of controlling the mixer externally using an iPad and now Android. So QMix, which has been our monitor mix application for iPhone, is now available on Android for the new Series 3 console. In addition to that, you get UC Surface, and recording software-wise, you get Capture and Studio One for Mac or PC. So really, all in all, the new console has a ton of different options for recording as well as control. So if you have any questions about the new StudioLive 32 Series 3, please call your Sweetwater sales engineer today. They'll give you the lowdown. These new consoles are going to be awesome. Thanks a lot for watching.